But my name is Patrick Fennell. I'm from Empowerment Solutions. I have a company, Empowerment Solutions, that I started 2004.
I'm a little confused with that.
Okay. In a formal program, they take many different shapes, right? So it could be a school-based mentoring program where you're mentoring students and it all happens at the school. And you have a supervisor that facilitates and matches and provides structure while you're there at the school. You could have a community-based mentoring program where you go and pick up your mentee and take them somewhere, whether you take them to a play, or you take them to the park or the zoo or whatever it is that you do. We have this triangular relationship in which we share everything with the supervisor so that they can do their job, which includes protecting us and being a resource to us, right? I think just offline we were having a conversation over here about this structure and understanding that this structure is not just for children at schools, but this is a structure that is a best case practice for any mentoring program that you work with. I think the challenge for us is that sometimes we listen, but not really. Right? We're going to talk more about listening a little bit later on. But what I would like to say about listening right now is that a lot of times what we do is that we listen not to understand, but we listen to make a point. I listened to you long enough to pick out the hole in your story to prove why I'm right and why you're wrong. All right. I have in the past listened to people to prove why I'm right, because none of you have done that, but I in the past have listened to people to prove why I'm right and why they're wrong. So once I heard what I wanted to hear, I shut my ears off to everything else so that I could find the gap in our conversation to jump back in and say, well, here's where you're wrong. So if I'm really listening to you, I really want to listen to understand. I really want to listen because I'm curious to understand your perspective and where you're coming from, as opposed to trying to push mine onto you. And what about brainstorming? Acquaintances are people that I know of, but I don't really know you. Right? And I think in this time of Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, where I have like 1,012 followers and I have 898 friends, but maybe I might have about maybe 60 of them that I actually have their phone number and I actually call them. The rest of them only know what I put on Instagram or Facebook. They only look at that, but we don't really know each other. Right? And so really what we're saying is that we don't want to just know of them, we want to know them. But we don't want it to become so intimate and so close that we lose perspective of what it is that we're here to do. So we want to find that middle ground where we're able to be supportive because we actually care about their well-being. So if we stay in the area that we're supposed to, that talks about what we are, and stay away from what we're not, it will help us to maintain the appropriate boundaries for this relationship as we go forward.